Hey there, welcome back to Ant Colony Singapore. Check it out. I got something delivered to me today and it's all the way from the UK. I bought a size 3 Ytong from Antlab UK last March and I have just gotten them earlier this week. Yep, you heard me right. I bought it last month in March. To be fair, it was not Antlab's UK's fault. They arranged the courier almost the next day, which was on 25th of March. But man, I think the COVID virus really has screwed up logistic and flight schedule. So there was like 1 month delay in the delivery. The outer box is an Amazon box. At first, I was a bit confused when I received the package because I don't remember ordering anything from Amazon. But then I realized they could have used it as an outer box. Silly me. So the first thing when I open it is the receipt, size 3 Ytong. I feel it's pretty priced. It's priced fairly, not too expensive, but not exactly cheap either. The shipping amount, the shipping cost is fair. Not much comment on that. And right when you open the small box, we got these two small white things in this plastic bag. I'm not sure what it is for now. Let me just put it aside first. And you can see there's this red acrylic shell and ta-da, the Ytong. Looks very sleek. I love the blue color, my favorite color. And then there's a laser printing with Antlab logo, and it says Ytong size 3. Not sure if you can see it from the video. I love this red shield. They make it so easy to put it on and take it off. It's hassle-free, which is good. Alright, so now I have taken a much better look at this formicarium, and I have to say that generally, or overall, I still quite like how it looks. It looks pretty neat, it looks sleek. Sorry about that. This red film is very, I think it's very useful. It's something that I'm the kind of person, knowing the kind of person that I am, I'm just too lazy about doing anything DIY. So I like the idea that everything comes to me all prepared, and I don't have to do so much about it. In the earlier video, in the earlier minutes of the videos, you've seen that I use this white thingy and connect the hub, the nest with the tube. I use this connector this way, but actually now I realize that that is the wrong way to do it, and the correct way to actually do it is actually this bigger connector is supposed to be connected to the nest. Now that I realize, sorry, maybe I use it on this one. So, right, okay, the bigger one, the bigger opening, you put it in the nest, and then this is supposed to be what you connect to the tube, where it kind of like falls in nicely. Sorry. So one of the things that I noticed that this connection is not tight, it's a bit loose. So I kind of have to find something that make it kind of like falls into a better have a better fitting. Maybe I have to put something in between or make it grip small. But the thing is that if I put it into this hole, then it connects just nicely. It's not too loose. It fits in well. I mean, you can still take it off, but it's not as loose as this one. It's just too loose, right? Okay. And the other thing is that so obviously you get two connectors for the two holes, left and right, or above and bottom. The other thing that I noticed is that the one that I just used earlier actually has very rounded shape. You can see it? It's very rounded shape. the other one is kind of like having an oblong shape, which makes it very difficult for you to, I mean, it's not very difficult, but it's just, you just cannot fit it in. It's just impossible to fit it in because, well, this is oblong and this is round shape, right? So now I ended up with only one connector, put it in, and I have to choose which one. Obviously, ultimately, it's still, you know, I'm still gonna be able to use this nest. I just need to shut down one hole, or I'll probably have to kind of like modify this hole a little bit to kind of like fit in the oblong shape of this thing. Probably have to like, you know, grind a little bit on the side. Alright, so I still end up having to do a little bit of DIY there. But ultimately, it's still not a deal breaker for me. I mean, it's still, it's not gonna render this nest unusable or, you know, not usable. So I'm still okay with it, as long as I got one connector working. It's fine. It's just that I guess like Antlab might want to consider, you know, upping their game on the quality control, or at least give some extra connectors to buyers, maybe like 3 or 4. I don't think these would cost that much, so we would appreciate it, I guess, as a buyer or users. Extra things in case, you know, conks out or, you know, something happens to it, it went missing, then you get another one. It's pretty convenient. I would appreciate it. And the other thing is that, you know, I got this thing. So this is like something that in the beginning I was like a bit baffled on where do I put this thing, because there's no manual or anything that comes with this nest, so you kind of like having to fit anything through and then kind of like see whether this makes sense for you to connect here, or, you know, put it here or there. So in the end, I kind of like realized that, you know, at the back of this thing, sorry, let me just zoom out a little bit. No, I can't zoom out. Okay, at the back of the nest, I found like 3 holes there. So I realized it's kind of like a base, you know, where you can screw this thing in and set up like a leg, so that, you know, you elevate the nest. One stage, maybe you can put something down below. I'm not sure whether it's. I think its purpose the purpose for it is to be for heating mat and heating cables, something along that line. Not that I use, or not that I need it. But the thing is that, again, excuse me, again, only 3 of this came. I only got 3 of this thing, and I don't know, the 4th one is missing, maybe during the delivery, because I do notice that the outer box was not kind of like properly sealed, so maybe it dropped off. I'm not sure. Again, I only got 3 out of 4 of these base legs. What do I call it? I don't know. Okay, I only got 3 of this, so probably not gonna be using it. So again, it's not a vital or something that's gonna render this nest completely unusable or useless. So I'm not gonna be too worried about it, and I'm probably planning to kind of like put the nest on a vertical fashion. So I'm not gonna be too concerned about having, you know, not having the base or the legs there. Yeah, but again, maybe just a note to Antlab that, you know, giving a little bit some extras of these tiny jigs would be very useful. I think, like, instead of 4, just give 5 or 6. I would really appreciate it. It would be very nice. That is all that, you know, I have to say. Other than that, you know, these little holes for humidifying, I'll probably put some cotton balls in it, so that it's kind of like give more absorbent or keep more moisture in the cotton before it spreads out to the formicarium for the nest. I can't wait to use it. At the moment, my ant colony is not big enough to be transferred to this nest just yet, and I'm quite happy with where they are right now. And I'm not gonna be rushing them to move into this formicarium. It's just too big for them. They're just like 20-30 workers strong. This is obviously way too big for them, so probably gonna consider moving them or attaching this thing to their outworld when they reach more like 100 or above 50 at least, so that because the one thing that I'm very concerned with is that people has been complaining about when the nest is too big. When the nest is too big, the ant tends to throw their garbage within the nest itself. So I don't want them to have like their little nest here, and then they start throwing out their garbage or their food leftover on this side, which is not good, because then you start having mold on this side, and it's not very healthy for the colony, right? So the ants would have a tendency to, instead of throwing their garbage outside in the outworld, but they would just like throw the garbage here because it's more convenient, I guess. Yeah. At any rate, quite happy with it. I spent 30 sterling pound for this thing. Saves me a lot of time instead of having to find my own Ytong and then carve it, put an acrylic and all this. So I do appreciate that Antlab UK is coming up with this product, making our lives so much easier. It's just that there are a few things that I mentioned that could be improved for all of us, right? And man, I really love this blue color. It's my favorite color. I love it. All right. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy this review video and find it insightful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment. I'll try to answer it as much as I know, and share some experience, and hopefully you share your experience as well. Do let me know. Cheers.